Gaia's fury was a force of nature itself, an unstoppable tempest of raw emotion and power. Volcanoes erupted, shaking the very foundations of the world, spewing molten lava and ash into the sky. The seas churned in response to her anger, waves crashing violently against the shores, as if the oceans themselves were rebelling. From the heart of the earth, she called upon the darkest, most primal forces to forge a being of unimaginable power, a creature born from the very essence of chaos and destruction. Typhon would be her instrument of vengeance, a monstrous force unlike any the world had ever seen. He would be the bane of the Olympian gods, a nightmare brought to life to challenge their reign. The earth trembled, the heavens roared, the Titans had fallen, their once mighty forms now reduced to shadows of their former glory. Zeus, with his brothers Poseidon and Hades, had vanquished the old gods, their victory echoing through the annals of time. They had banished the Titans to the abyss of Tartarus, a dark and desolate prison from which there was no escape. Gaia, the Earth Mother, seethed with fury, her heart burning with a desire for retribution. Her children, the Titans, suffered in darkness, their cries of anguish echoing through the void. She swore revenge, vowing to bring down the Olympians who had wronged her. A new champion would rise, a terror beyond imagining, a force that would shake the very foundations of Olympus. Typhon would be his name, a harbinger of doom, destined to challenge the gods themselves.
Out of the fiery chasm of Mount Etna, Typhon emerged. A monstrous giant, taller than mountains, he shook the earth with every step. His 100 dragon heads scraped the sky. Each head spewed flames and venomous breath. A cacophony of monstrous voices echoed across the land, each one more horrifying than the last. The earth trembled before him. The gods shuddered in fear.
The very air crackled with his power. His eyes, burning like molten gold, blazed with terrible rage. They reflected the fury of Gaia, the anguish of the Titans, and a hatred for the Olympian gods that burned hotter than the sun. This was no mere monster. This was primal chaos given form. This was Typhon, the bane of Olympus.
Panic seized the Olympians. Even the bravest hearts trembled before Typhon's might. They had never faced such raw, untamed power. One by one, the gods fled. Some disguised themselves as animals, hoping to escape Typhon's notice. Others sought refuge in the far corners of the earth. Their glorious reign, it seemed, was at an end. They fled to Egypt, seeking anonymity amongst the mortals. Zeus, however, would not abandon his throne so easily. He knew that the fate of Olympus, the fate of the cosmos itself, rested on his shoulders. He would face Typhon. He would stand against the storm. Zeus, armed with his thunderbolts, met Typhon's challenge. The sky itself became a battleground. Lightning flashed, thunder roared, the earth shook under the weight of their struggle. Typhon's 100 dragon heads lashed out, spewing fire and venom. Zeus, wielding the power of the storm, fought back with all his might.
The clash of their powers could be felt in the furthest corners of the world. Mountains crumbled, seas boiled, the very fabric of reality seemed to fray at the edges. Zeus fought with the fury of a cornered lion, knowing that the fate of all creation rested upon his shoulders.
Despite Zeus's valiant efforts, Typhon's raw power began to overwhelm him.
Your thunderbolts are nothing against my might, Zeus.
The monstrous giant ripped away Zeus's thunderbolts, severing the source of his power. Wounded and exhausted, Zeus fell.
No, this cannot be.
Typhon, sensing victory, pressed his advantage, unleashing the full force of his fury upon the fallen god.
Feel the wrath of Typhon, king of monsters.
Typhon bound Zeus with chains of adamantine, unbreakable even by a god's strength. He dragged Zeus, humiliated and powerless, to his lair in the Cilician caverns, a hidden realm of darkness and despair. The age of the Olympians, it seemed, had reached its abrupt and ignominious end. In the depths of the Cilician caverns, Typhon gloated over his captive. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and despair, a fitting atmosphere for the fallen king of the gods.
Look at you now, Zeus, stripped of your power, your dignity, and your freedom. Once, you commanded the heavens, but now you are nothing more than a shadow of your former self. To add insult to injury, he entrusted Zeus's severed sinews to the monstrous dragon Delphine to guard. She watched over them with a malevolent gleam in her eyes, ensuring that Zeus remained powerless. He taunted Zeus, reveling in his victory. He had stripped Zeus of his power, his dignity, and his freedom. Every word was a dagger, twisting deeper into Zeus's wounded pride.
Hope seemed like a distant memory. The laughter of his enemies echoed around him, a constant reminder of his fall from grace. The once vibrant light in his eyes was now dimmed, replaced by a hollow stare.
Without your sinews, you are as helpless as a newborn babe, your strength, your might, all reduced to nothing. How the mighty have fallen.
The weight of defeat pressed down upon Zeus. He was trapped, his power drained, his spirit broken. The world outside was shrouded in darkness, ruled by the monstrous Typhon. The once thriving lands now lay in ruin, a testament to Typhon's reign of terror.
How did it come to this? How did the king of the gods fall so far? His mind raced with memories of battles won and lost, of allies and enemies, of choices that led him to this dark moment.
The once mighty king of the gods was now a prisoner, his fate uncertain, his future bleak. The echoes of his past glories seemed to mock him, a cruel reminder of what he once was and what he had become.
Word of Zeus's capture and imprisonment has reached my ears. We cannot abandon our king, Pan.
Although fear grips our hearts, we must act. We need a plan, a desperate gamble to restore Zeus's power.
They devised a daring plan, a desperate gamble to restore Zeus's power and free him from Typhon's clutches. They knew that Zeus's sinews held the key to his power. They would infiltrate Typhon's lair, a feat fraught with danger, and retrieve the stolen sinews. It was a perilous task, one that could cost them their lives. But the fate of Olympus, the fate of the world, rested upon their success. Hermes, fleet of foot and cunning of mind, infiltrated Typhon's lair. His heart pounded in his chest, but his resolve was unshakable. He knew the fate of the gods rested on his shoulders. He distracted the monstrous Delphine, lulling her into a false sense of security with his enchanting music. The melody was so captivating that even the fiercest of beasts couldn't resist its charm.
Delphine, listen to my music and let your guard down. Feel the soothing notes and let them wash over you.
While the dragon was distracted, Pan snatched the sinews, restoring them to Zeus. The sinews, glowing with divine energy, were the key to Zeus's strength.
I've got the sinews, Zeus. Your power will be restored. Feel the energy surge through you once more.
Reinvigorated and filled with righteous fury, Zeus broke free from his bonds. His eyes blazed with determination, and his muscles rippled with newfound strength. The final confrontation was at hand. The air crackled with tension as the gods prepared for the ultimate showdown. The earth shook once more as Zeus, his thunderbolts returned to him, unleashed his full fury upon Typhon. Lightning bolts streaked across the sky, illuminating the battlefield. The battle raged even more fiercely than before. Each clash of titans sent shockwaves through the heavens and the earth, but this time Zeus was prepared. He had learned from his past encounters and was ready to end this once and for all. He fought with the fury of a god wronged, the righteous anger of a king reclaiming his throne. His every move was precise, his every strike devastating. The gods watched in awe as Zeus demonstrated why he was the king of the gods. In a cataclysmic display of power, Zeus hurled Mount Etna upon Typhon, burying the monstrous giant beneath tons of earth and rock. Typhon's roars of defiance were silenced. The earth was still. Silence reigned.
I have vanquished Typhon. The age of the Olympians is secured.
Zeus, bruised but unbroken, had vanquished the monstrous Typhon. With Typhon defeated, Zeus returned to Olympus, his power and authority undisputed. The Olympians, humbled by their near defeat, acknowledged Zeus's supremacy. The cosmic order was restored, the balance of power reaffirmed. But the memory of Typhon's rebellion served as a stark reminder of the fragility of their reign and the ever-present threat of chaos. But what of Typhon's progeny? What other monstrous offspring did this terrifying creature unleash upon the world? And what new challenges awaited Zeus and the Olympian gods? The story of the Titanomachy and the epic battle with Typhon is just the beginning of our journey through the myths and legends of ancient Greece. Join us next time as we delve deeper into this world of gods and monsters, heroes and villains, love and loss, and explore the timeless stories that have captivated imaginations for millennia.